All right, hey guys, welcome. My name is Eric Vaughn. This is a class on PHP. It's an introductory class. PHP is a scripting language or programming language primarily used for websites. It is used to make website content dynamic, right? So what that means is that if we wanted to pull data from if we wanted to pull up a list of movies or whatever, and our list was always changing, our list came from a database, we can use PHP to interact and generate that dynamic content. PHP used to stand for Personal Homepage Processor or something. It was written a long time ago, 1995 or something. It's been around. It's a really fun programming language. I really like PHP. It's really clean and easy to use. Like, it's easy to read, and it's really clean. It's a fast language. All right. So why would we want to use PHP? Just to quickly jump into that. So PHP is widely used. It was one of the original programming or scripting languages for dynamic website content, and there's a very large number of content management systems that use PHP. So WordPress, Drupal, Magento, OpenCart, all of those are written in PHP. And PHP is it's a fun language. It's really cool. It's really neat. So we're gonna start looking at the very basics of the PHP language. Our very first program with any programming language or scripting language, the very first program that we ever learn is Hello World. Just for whatever reason, it's a very simple thing, very simple program. It outputs something to the screen, and it's useful, right? So PHP is unique in that every PHP file starts and ends with this little, I don't know what we call this, opener and closer, the less than $PHP. Every PHP file starts with that, or let me rephrase that. Actually, for now we're going to say every file starts with that, and every file closes with the greater than symbol. The reason PHP is actually really unique in that, the reason that the reason we have an opener and closer is because sometimes in some files we may have a file that's 95% HTML, and then we might have just a little bit of PHP code. So instead of making the whole thing PHP with all the HTML interspersed, we can just slice in that one little bit of PHP code. Let me show you what that looks like on our here. So this is what it looks like. Let me make this a little bit easier to read. So most of this file is HTML. We have our normal HTML head, title, blah blah blah, whatever. And then we have a PHP block that's in line. So we don't need to make the whole file PHP. We can just put a little block of PHP in line. And then we have our closing HTML after our greater than sign. So it's a cool little thing, right? Because we may not want the whole file to be HTML. But anyway, let's go back to our Hello World. In Hello World, so again, this is like, the very basic start of any lesson or learning any programming language. We just output something to the screen, something useful. Print, and then our double quote with our message, hello world, our string, and then we have a new line character to give us a carriage return. And then every executable block in PHP is terminated with a semicolon. So we're gonna run our program right now. For the first few chapters, or for the first little bit of this class, we're gonna focus on running PHP from the command line, just because that's going to be simpler. and then we'll learn how to actually do like a basic website stuff later on. But just for now, we're going to be focusing on running it from the command line. So to run anything from the command line, I happen to be using Linux, and I believe it's the same. It's also the same in Mac OS, and presumably Windows. PHP, and then the name of the file to run, hello.php in this case. So, and then we output hello world to the screen, and we get our new line. So, pretty simple. Not a lot to it. That's our introduction to the PHP programming language. It's as simple as I can get. For homework for this lesson, what I want you to do two things. I want you to write the Hello World program just as it is on your own, and then also I want you to try and experiment with things to try to move things around and see what happens if something breaks, like take out the semicolon or add in, change the character, or even, whatever, right? Try a couple things and see what happens. So that's it for the very intro lesson.